Whoa, Heracross!
Heracross, it gathers in forests to search for tree sap, its favourite food.
Wow, interesting! What else do you have to say about it?
It can toss.
Shit about 100 times the same weight, get fat, cunt!
Sick. When you really look at it, the Pokédex is pretty intelligent. But it's fucking dumb. It's insane some of the stuff it churns out. And over the years of getting info for these videos, I've gotten to know Dexter quite well. I've started to pick up on a little trait the old digital geezer has. He loves to have a good mood swing here and there. Depending on what game you're playing, its descriptions go from Ainsley Harriott flavouring a lamb with garlic and rosemary in a tiny Greek island of Alonisos. All the way to Gordon Ramsay shouting,
Get that fucking goat out of the kitchen!
at Bossman down at Abracadabra on the high street. So really, a good amount of Pokemon lore gets taken way out of proportion, and it got me thinking, just how strong are some of these sleep paralysis visions? Now, you can get your calculators out, you can push your glasses up, give them a dramatic reflection, you can do that all you want, while you find out how many low kicks it takes to get to the center of a Chansey. But while you do that, I'm gonna be over here asking the real questions, ones that a calculator and an anime cliche can never answer. I wanna know how a Geodude pulls off a deadlift in midair. I wanna see if Machamp could bench press with a Whale Lord on each side of the bar. I wanna see an Aggron flap around part of a bridge like he's getting sand off a beach towel. So I've tried to determine what Pokemon are physically the strongest of all. Heracross lifting 100 times its weight led me to find out something a little unexpected. Durant is low-key one of the strongest pound-for-pound Pokemon. You know why? Because ants can lift, what, some skits amount like up to 100 times their own body weight? And with 70 pounds of weight behind one of these, that's a reasonably strong boy. But if you were to get the calculators out, you lazy specimen, that means there's around 7,000 pounds of strength behind a single Durant alone. And to put that into perspective, the biggest of all heavyweight units is a tie between these two, weighing around 2,200 pounds, pure unadulterated mass. It'd take around 3.5 of them before it needs one of the lads to spot him. A single Durant alone could juggle the 3 heaviest units in all of Pocket Boys, and that's not even when its own boys are together. Who knows what kind of physical prowess an entire colony of Durants would have. Heracross lifting 100 times its own weight also made me realise... Yeah, it should probably get its own segment as well. Weighing 50 pounds more than Durant means Heracross is individually far stronger, going from 7,000 pounds of weight to around 12,000. Now I've got to give Durant a nice bonus for anger strength. Heracross doesn't seem like he has that. Heracross looks like he'd give a nice hug. But Durant has that same pissed off look that Squidward gets when he wants to tell SpongeBob to get fucked. So, I'm gonna go ahead and add a nice little plus to that 7,000. However, even with pissed off strength, an extra 5,000 pounds of power makes Durant look like a cute little warm-up act before Heracross comes along the headline. Oh, got a nice little juggling act going. Oh, that's cute. Step aside, get saved for professionals. Get out of here. Heading on stage, playing Tornado of Souls by Megadeth, using the 1-ton Cosmo as his guitar pick. Lightweight. And he's a professional. No mistake, he's a professional. He's got a few spares in his wallet as well, just sitting there. Heracross never knows when he's going to need a guitar pick to publicly out the Wonderwall fuckboys of the world. Look at this big boy. Oh, what big boy am I talking about this time? God damn, Buzzwole. That's the big boy I'm looking for. It's actually pretty overwhelming, not gonna lie to you. Going against everything ever said about bugs being puny, because this is a small creature. As if a mosquito bought a full body add-on pack after Anchor Arms, but extra dimensional, terrestrial, thick bug Lightyear. What the fuck? Is capable of pulverizing a truck with a single punch. Now take Donphan for instance, that can hold one of these trucks. Buzzwole could crush the damn thing into a cube. Actually, no. That's not how the yoked mosquito handles things. In my opinion, it would crush the truck and morph it into its own image. Kinda like God. If he made us into the image of Optimus Prime. Buzzwole is a rare and dangerous thing in the Pokemon world because of this physical prowess. But in its own dimension, it's common. Ever since their information broke out, 80% of Rule 34 sites, as well as 1/3 of DeviantArt... 81% of Rule 34 sites have been researching how to open up the wormhole to its dimension. You know, for intel purpose. Excuse me. It's interesting to imagine that somewhere out there, there's a dimension with a young upstart from his hometown making his way to the first forest of their adventure, only to be greeted by a swarm of boys big enough to make the Black Roster feel insecure. Buzzswole, as juicy as that exhibit of wedge is, may be capable of manipulating a damn lorry like a 3D model. Hariyama, on the other hand, doesn't quite look the part, but don't let the sumo physique fool you. It is one giant hulk of solid muscle. Muscle so mature, it has no tone, completely smooth beef, but compared to Buzzswole, it can send a truck flying with a single straight arm punch. Oh, it's one that weighs about 10 tons. Whatever. And when it's bored of chucking around 10 tons like a goddamn vortex ball, its favourite pastime is challenging others with its strength. It's like me when I get smashed and challenge everyone to arm wrestle, except here, you're dealing with something that challenges telephone poles and arm wrestles Japanese bullet trains. Now again, Durant may have that look about him, you know, resting piss off SpongeBob face, but quite a bit lower on that scale comes Donphan. I say lower, because it's not quite on Squidward's level of raw hate for life. Donphan has more of a
"Why is there smoke coming out of your oven, Seymour?"
pissed off look to it. Like, it's not really pissed, but he's on the verge of it, so naturally, it's very prone to being agitated at almost nothing. And as tempting as it is to cave into your urges to make someone rather vexed, it's something I'd advise against doing to something that's more than capable of destroying your house using the Pokemon move equivalent of pressing A once in any fighter game. But looking into this even further, there's something even more powerful. So essentially, what I'm trying to say here is Donphan's been one-upped. God damn it. Terrakion, on the other hand, this complete unit has the power to destroy castles. So essentially, what this really means is that Donphan is a B-Tech Terrakion. It's built like one of those wedge bulldogs, the kind of pet that takes you for a walk around the park and slide tackles you when you whistle at it. So not only will Terrakion tear down everything you own, no matter how thick the yard is, it'll pile up the remains in a lorry and hand deliver it to the skip itself. A house? Yeah, that's pretty hefty. A castle? Oh, that's a nice hefty house. A skyscraper? Well, really, it's like a fuck-off Monday castle. Like 222,000 tons on average. Linear castle. Alright, Terrakion, it's been a good run, but you're taking the L on this one. Get down there with Donphan as one of the B-Tech boys, cause Rampados I don't give a f- is a postgraduate level Terrakion, and he doesn't see things the same way I do. He doesn't see skyscrapers as a big fuck-off house for billionaires. No. You know what he sees? He sees light work. He cares very little for flexing in its final form, and if it feels like it, it'd take him down in a single headbutt, because apparently it can knock down virtually anything in a single hit. So Terrakion, your castle wall thing, that may be legendary. Like 500 years ago, Rampados taking down skyscrapers. That's where it's at these days. You talk about a physical specimen. Before the macho mosquito, there was the Machamp. And you take one hard long look and know that Machamp could easily accommodate a drive-through cinema with a simple lateral spread. But has this hunk of beef been cooked as rare as it should be, or is it truly a slice of well-done glamour muscle? Rarely does one look this yoked without at least some firepower behind those firearms Machamp calls forearms. You don't just throw 500 punches a second without a bit of superpower. You aren't morphed into this world with 10 pounds of championship gold already around your waist without being physically gifted. But thankfully, its strength is as sculpted as its glutes. It can knock a train flying with a single punch while pushing a mountain with another hand. And you know what? Just why not? He'll bust out Tornado Souls with the other two hands he has free. Well, he'd try. Oh, bless him. Oh, Poor Beefcake. Their dexterity is terrible. He'd probably stick to Wonderwall. But he can't quite switch chords fast enough to play it properly. But you'll sit there and seem invested anyway, because you just feel bad for the guy. And because he could crush you like a froob. People demonstrate their grip strength through crushing apples with their fingers, or even ripe spuds with their nubs, and that's usually with thick, meaty earthbender hands. But I don't think you've even considered the raw power you'd need to crush an entire mountain with your hands, especially with these wee, bite-sized pincers. Not even these, just one of them. And that's only the beginning of the power of Tyranitar. Jesus, crushing a mountain like a claw machine winning a fucking minion. The whole tier just keeps getting... Oh, God... 1-ups. God fucking... Destroying mountains for a nest. Tyranitar warming up to destroy a nice looking mountain is like us applying for a mortgage. Whenever a Tyranitar goes for a little house hunting, it changes the entire landscape of the region. Its power destroys towns, buries entire rivers. Cartographers are kept on a smooth payroll thanks to them redecorating the earth. They're forced to redesign up a new map every time they come back steaming from the nearest spoons. And this Mega, oh, that's not helping anyone. That's not helping me. That's not... Its urge to destroy is what keeps it going in its mega form. That's helping none of us. And it can't even hear orders to stop. Or, more likely, just chooses not to listen. It's like a car shredder in its Bring Me the Horizon phase. Ooh, that's raw. The Pokédex likes to describe this one as the loveliest sight in the whole world. That's oddly disturbing and sinister to consider for one of the physically strongest creatures in this universe.
Carbon in the air to make diamonds.
With his bare fucking hands!
Alright, there it is. There we go. There goes the Pokédex going off on one again. Another one of your mood swings. Dex not taking his pills again. You want to be David Attenborough? Or do you want to be Ross Kemp on Gangs in Moscow? Huh? Make your fucking... I'll wait. Actually, nah. I'll take them both. Keep doing what you're doing. But that lovely sight, Diancie, I understand why it's such a lovely sight. It's just so... dense! Who would have thought that freakish mutation of Carbink? Goddamn Carbink probably gets more use orbiting around the Mega Steelix than from players, becomes queen of the ores, a 20-pound polished up rock that could somehow create the, what was... Oh, 725,000 pounds of pressure needed to create diamonds. And that's with these dainty little hands. I'm sitting here with man hands. Pristine, firebender shaped hands that can barely come up with enough pressure to separate two flat Lego pieces. And even then, I typically resort to my teeth. I don't even think Diancie has teeth. Didn't even have a mouth till it hulked up from Carbink. Yeah, nice one, Diancie. Take a look at my hands. You wanna know what I can do with these hands? Yeah, check this out. Yeah, sick. Get out of here. Let's consider the strength of Tyranitar against mountains. Let's just go for Mount Everest. Mount Everest is in the Himalayas. Himalayas? Where's that? Asia. Everest is like this pixel of that. You see it? You got it? Well, I don't. But all I see is a nice warm-up set for Regigigas. Tyranitar may redesign entire regions. Regigigas drags the entire thing around the earth. I'd be more than willing to wait 5 RPG turns to have the strength needed to tow a slice of Mother Earth around. Yeah, sure. Get your licks in now. You better make those 5 turns count. Because if I'm still standing, I'ma slap the piss out of you using the rough side of Asia. And not only that, it has the intelligence to back up the beef. And manipulating the structure of the earth. That's a lot of beef to back up. Buzzswole can crush trucks into cubes. Regigigas could do that and then program it to run Smash Bros.